All right, y'all. I got a hot one today, folks. I got a hot one today. Dusty is over in Europe doing his thing, folks. He gonna drop in anyway. But today, I got a legend in the house, boy. I can't wait to tell you about it. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. We do this most of the time on Tuesdays, 6 o'clock, folks. Today, shit. We coming with the heat, folks. We coming with the heat. Dusty will be here shortly. I see my guest in the dugout already. It's about to go down, folks. It's about to go down. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
What's up, big dog?
Oh, man, living like a midget, but I'm growing every day. How you feeling, baby?
Oh, all is blessed. All is well.
Man, that's a good thing, Doc. I'm really glad to have you on the show today, Doc. I got to say something, though, man. I was really, I know you. I don't know you as well as I should know you. But yesterday when we met at the Coolio shoot, and you offered me your contact information, that was some real cool shit, man. Because most cats don't do that. Most cats don't do that. They give you an assistant number. They give you, oh man, get back. I'll give you an Instagram link or something. But you were the real player, Doc. Hey man, take my info right quick, Doc. Man, much love for offering your info and much love for being on the show today.
Thank you. I just you a big dog, you legend, man. So got to respect the big bros that paved the way.
I appreciate that, Doc. Man, how did I ain't gonna say miss you. You right down the street in Carson. I'm in Compton. How did we not interact more back in the day? What was you doing? I know I'm a little older than you, but what was you doing that I missed you?
I mean, honestly, I met you. I was at the club one time. I think it was Eve After Dark, but I knew it was your club.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I grew up in Watts.
Okay.
And I went to school in Watts until basically 8th grade.
Okay.
And then by that point, I was hanging with my friends because most of I went to school in Watts, so a lot of my friends were like L.A. So I wasn't in Compton as much as I was maybe like on the West Side, on the Shaw, or like over I had some Gardena homies. So we were just we and then a lot of times I was in Long Beach a little bit. Okay. I'm younger than Snoop and them, so. But I remember going up. I had an older homeboy that rapped, and Dre was working with him. This is the first time, coincidentally, it was at the spot that I met. My homie from Long Beach, he rapped. His name was Dre Be Gone.
Okay.
And I think Domino was out. I think maybe Snoop had just came out. It had to be like early on. Okay. But went to your spot in Compton, and Dre was there with Suge as his bodyguard. That's what it looked like to me. and Dre was, and the other Dre Be Gone, was rapping, and we called it housing back then. We was like breakdancing for him and shit, and he was doing his rap. So that's the first time I ever saw you in real life. And actually, saw you, saw Dre, saw Suge, and then, but. I was still, I was probably, I was a teenager, but I probably was like 16-ish.
Okay.
Way too young to be where I was at anyway.
Okay.
So I was still just trying to get in where I fit in. I was still housing. So back then, Cube had already said, you couldn't break dance and rap. He was like, I'm sick of that shit. Listen to the hit. So yeah. I was busy making that transition from housing, essentially breakdancing to rhyme. And I wanted to rhyme, but I was still having fun, like actually, boogieing or whatever they wanted to call it. And so, that was it. So I missed your radar because I wasn't a factor.
Okay.
I wasn't a factor yet.
So your intro to hip hop is through the dance moves, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's just through all of it. I mean, it existed in some capacity since I was born, but I just wasn't a big music person up until I was probably in the 8th grade.
Okay.
7th to 8th grade. The music was really just the sound, like the background noise to me running around with my homeboys.
Okay.
To be perfectly honest. Yeah.
All right. My boy, my co-host, the Robin to my Batman is in the house. Dusty Vision, what's up, Doc?
What up? What up? What up, RAS KASS? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I told Raz,
I'm good, man.
My boy gonna be pissed off. I tell him I got RAS KASS. He up there in Europe hanging out.
Man, one of my favorite MCs of all time, the Waterproof MC. What up, dude?
Oh man, all is blessed. Where you at? You in Europe?
Yeah, I'm in Europe, man. I'm in Tuscany right now. It's about 3 in the morning. Yeah, man. We're right when Lonzo told me this was going down, I was like, man, I gotta jump on this one. So I took a little nap, and I'm up, baby. I'm up.
Man, thank you for being here. Yeah, shit. You over there in Italy, huh? Tuscany? Nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just did a little wine tasting, just having a good time, man. It's a bucket list, but it's not about me. It's about you. What you guys talking about?
Oh man, I just asked him how I missed him on my radar, man, back in the day, Doc. I mean, I know the brother, I know of him, I know his work, but I usually cross paths a lot more, especially with guys like him. But he explained he's a little bit younger, so I was probably doing something else by the time he really got fired up in the rapping situation. He'd been to the club, but we just hadn't, he was flying below the radar at that time. That's all.
Yeah. I've been messing with RAS KASS since the beginning, man. Since let's see, Golden State Warriors. Hey, can you tell us about Golden State Warriors a bit, man? Exhibit, Saphir, how that went down, and please talk to us about that era.
Oh yeah. That was basically it started. So I got my deal right before Exhibit got his deal. So what we would do is basically if I got booked for a show, we didn't call it like my hype man because we was both MCs. We just call it second mic. So if Exhibit got booked, I'm second mic. If he got, if I got booked, he's second mic. And we ended up having a show in Frisco one time early on. I want to say this is like 1997-ish, 96, 97-ish. And we knew who Saphir was. We didn't know him super well, but obviously he was the dude from Menace to Society, Cousin Harold, the one that wouldn't get out the car and got blasted. So we knew him as an actor, and we knew that he could rhyme. But he popped up at the show, and we just had such a blast together. I remember just that night, in the dressing room at the end of the night, what I'm saying, everybody, grabbing their shit and getting ready to go to the hotel. Niggas was just like, yo, we should just do this again. Like, we should just do this. This is more fun. And that's really how it started, man. It was real organic. From there, Exhibit put us on his first album. Plastic Surgery was the first song. So at the speed of, no, is it not at the speed of life? Yeah, it is. At the speed of life.
Yeah,
is Exhibit's first album. Yeah, he put us on that album, which was called Plastic Surgery. E Swift from the Licks produced it, and then we kept, from there we would put each other on each other's albums. Yeah.
Okay. I date that chicks that weigh 215 with low self-esteem because it's easier to get there.
Yeah. I met Exhibit not long ago, and another cool brother, man, and he's one of them cats, man, that I like about Exhibit. If I call, he'll answer the phone, and so many cats, man. You feel almost disrespected that a cat won't answer the phone, or at least return the phone call or give you a text. I do that bothers the shit out of me because I remember when I was on top, I answered my phone. So a lot of folks a lot of folks don't answer their phone no more, man. Or they may not that you call. I mean, hey man, I'm busy right now, OG, whatever the case may be. But to me, that means a lot, brother. And like I said, when I call that brother, man, he usually answers the phone. In fact, let me see something. Right, hold on. Let me test my theory right quick. Hold on. Let me test my theory right quick.
I think he's in Australia, to be honest.
Oh, that ain't gonna work. Man. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah. It's probably on my time zone right now.
That ain't gonna work. He might be back. He could be back.
Why not give him a call? I'm gonna give him a call. All he can do is not answer the phone.
Man. Shout out OG Steve. Good looking out, brother, from the Bronx, man. Appreciate you, man. We have a legend in the building, RAS KASS. Soul on Ice, classic album. Hey, while he's making that phone call, I would love to know about the Horsemen, man, and how that whole history came about, how you guys got delayed in that situation, and how you eventually released this dope project just a few years ago.
Oh, thanks, man. So ironically, like, I kind of never, I kind of didn't have a clique. You know, the rest. What up, Yazzie? I see Yazzie in the building. That's my better half of my social media. So Yaz handles all that. My work wife is what they call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, around the same time, which was, well, maybe a little bit later, maybe so maybe about 97, 98 ish. There's a lady named Wendy Day. So Wendy has Rap Coalition, and Wendy's just amazing. She helped a lot of artists. Period. She helped UGK when they was in a bad deal. And she helped Eminem. She helped The Lox. She helped RAS KASS. She helped David Banner. She helped a gang of MCs. When they got, she was just an advocate for artists not getting fucked over. East, West, North, and South. She helped Cash Money get their deal too. But she was doing this thing called Rap Olympics, which I think they should bring back. And to make a long story short, there were these teams. It was going to be this battle, like 4-man battles. So I think Wu-Tang was going to have one, Redman, like Def Squad, like Keith Murray and Redman was going to have one, Nas and so. So all these teams, And I remember Kurupt called me like, yo, you going to be on my team. And then I was like, well, that's dope. But I got CANIBUS on my, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have CANIBUS on the team too. And then he was like, well, then fuck it. We'll just all be a team because I want Killer Priest on the team too. And I didn't know Killer Priest. I already knew CANIBUS. He was acquainted with CANIBUS. I knew CANIBUS more. So really, we came together to do that battle, and then slowly but surely all the signed artists started dropping out. So for us, it was never it wasn't worth it because we wanted to battle and we wanted to battle the homies from Wu-Tang or Redman and whatever, we like, it was just more skin in the game. It ended up being a lot of brothers that's super dope that just weren't signed at the time, so we didn't do it. But we ended up doing a song together, and what we realized is, again, that as battle rapping MCs, it was because we kind of really technically what we are is slaughterhouse before slaughterhouse.
Right. Exactly.
You're taking kind of the more lyrical MCs out of a clique. In our case, Dog Pound Kurupt is he's the spitter. Not taking nothing from the rest of them. Everybody's magical, but he's the battle rapper, like the lyrical dude. Killer Priest comes out of just a very lyrical camp. CANIBUS was down with the Fugees, but he was like battle rap supreme. He was going at it with, what I'm saying? He's just the nasty new kid on the block, and then, and then me. And so, yeah, we went for it. I always had a problem with getting my groups, we couldn't get records made. Like, we could record and make records. We couldn't keep it together to get the records out for one reason or another. A lot of times, it wasn't really our fault. It would be, I signed to Priority Records really because of N.W.A. and wanted to be part of this legacy. And what I didn't realize was that Brian Turner and them didn't know they asked from the chair they were sitting in. So a lot of times, my stuff got fucked over because I did the wrong thing for the right reason. I signed to a label that didn't get what I was trying to put down. They thought everything was gonna be as simple as N.W.A. and California Raisins, and it's not.
I read one of your albums came out, but it got bootlegged heavily before it even came out, or something like that.
Yeah, that was the third album. That was the Van Gogh album. Yep.
Yeah, that's a dope name too. And how do you feel about that, man? Because I know back in the day I had some artists that I did the street album, and some of the cuts got bootlegged, and the guys got pissed at me because somebody bootlegged their shit. Like, man, how you let somebody? Well, first of all, back in the CD day, you can't control that shit. Once you got the CD, you got a master. How did you feel about? How did you feel when they started bootlegging your shit? That's a sign. That's a sign of appreciation, but it's also a sign you're about to get fucked. How did you feel? How did you feel with that?
Yeah. you know, it was hard to stop that hemorrhaging because it was happening from the manufacturers. It was happening like there was so many places you could get fucked. You know what I mean? Like literally, the studio could fuck you. You know what I'm saying? The mastering could fuck. I never really heard about Bernie Grumman fucking nobody over, but you know, just the people that manufactured the CDs or the vinyls, they could fuck. The call could be coming from the house. Somebody at the label then ordered some white labels on the side to fuck you. You could, it was always so. It was hard to manage that that hemorrhaging. I always, you know, ultimately, of course, I'm in a business, and I wasn't Tupac. I didn't sell the kind of records that Tupac did, so I needed all myself. So it was a disadvantage of me. Period. You know, I've always felt like that. Of course, it was a disadvantage because I'm in a business with a company that wants to make their money back. And so for me to be able to be financed, I need the people to support the music. I still tell people that to this day. Like, you know, back in the day, I would go out and buy everybody's CDs, right? You know, this is back when CDs were $18 or whatever the fuck. But as those people that I bought became more and more successful,
Marlon
I stopped
Cozy.
buying their CDs. Yeah, but as they got more and more successful, I stopped buying their brothers. I mean, buying their brothers. I stopped buying their CDs because they didn't need my help. So, for instance, I supported Jay-Z. His first album initially didn't even go gold. It was considered a flop. So I supported Jay-Z, or I supported so-and-so. But then Jay-Z starts selling 4 million records. I'm not buying this shit. I need to buy the other brother that's talented that needs some help. So I always took that approach because I understood the business of this. Like, this is an art form, but we need to have commercial success in order to keep it going. It's almost like a plant. I always tell people, like, you got to water the plant. You can't just have a plant and think it's going to give you a whole bunch of fucking, you know what I'm saying, the best fruit. And, you know what I'm saying, your shit going to be popping and big shade, nigga. You ain't never fed it. You going to have a dead-ass plant. And, you know, that's how a lot of careers go by the wayside because people, you know, I was never mad at niggas for getting their money, but you was fucking mine off. And I was never mad at the people because I want people to hear the music. But again, you know, people, you know, we needed to support N.W.A. We needed to support Tupac. We needed to support RAS KASS. We need to support Kendrick. We need to support Dog Pound. You got to support people. You know, we got a real fucked up understanding about, you know, even especially nowadays, you know, niggas don't really understand how much it costs just to make a record, to make one. I don't care if you cutting corners. And then the nigga act like niggas will really not even listen to your whole song and then tell you they want to hear a new song, another one. And they just have no appreciation for how much hard work, blood, sweat, tears, hard work, cooperation, asking, you know, I might ask Dusty to do the scratching. I might ask you to talk on it. We had to get in the studio, mix it, master, come up with a beat, do all this shit, and then the nigga act like it ain't even worth.
Well, you know what you said.
One shot listen. You know, and they busy telling you who else should be on your song. Oh, you should have had Dr. Dre and Kendrick on it. You bitch ass niggas. Why don't you just listen to the song, my G?
Everybody want to be fucking A&R. Everybody want to be A&R.
Yeah, niggas
I love it. I love it. Everybody want to pay. Everybody want to be an extra producer or A&R on your shit. Man, that shit pisses me. Dude, I know how that feels. You just busted your ass to do it the best you can do, and somebody who never been in the studio gonna tell you what you should be doing. How the fuck you gonna do that? How do you do that?
Happens a lot of the time, which is just, you know, I always try to explain to people like, man, you have no idea because, you know, streaming made people, you know, undervalue the hard work that goes into every creative process, you know.
Yeah. Facts. I have a question for you, Ras.
Huh?
Yeah, you know, keep going.
Oh no, that was it.
No.
Okay. No.
Me and Dustin talk about this all the time. I actually miss the record business, not the music business, but the record business. Okay, there's a difference. There was the music business and there's a record business. They're synonymous with each other, but the physical product that we used to have to manufacture, to sell in the store, ship, whatever the case may be, had a lot more business to it. It's too easy now. I mean, to me, it's too easy. Nobody don't respect what they have to go into the game because you never went into the game when it was rough. You came in the game and it was soft as cotton, and you wonder why everybody wants to be everybody wants to be a producer, because they don't know what it takes to be a real producer. All they want to do is give you some bullshit suggestions that are kind of random any goddamn way. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, Raz, let me ask you a question. I interviewed you a few years ago. Actually, I hung out with you at Psycho Realm Studio. Shout out to Psycho Realm. But I didn't get to ask you this
Yes,
question,
sir.
man. It was a question that I really wanted to ask you. Can you explain to us trying to navigate through the 90s as a quote backpack rapper when gangster rap was at its height? And did you ever get approached by record label executives to gangster up your image to, maybe get a better deal or sell more
That's a
records?
that's a good question. I've been trying to walk this with some nuance. Everybody in Southern California grew up somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blood, Crip, Southsider, something. Usos, you know what I'm saying? Everybody grows up somewhere. Once it was a hard. I got a lot of support from producers. I didn't initially just starting out. Battle Cat discovered me. You know what I'm saying? I was like 14 trying to act 16 or something like that. 15 trying to act 17, something like that. But Cat always supported me, and then Wino, who would go on to produce all the Coolio stuff. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once I had a demo, my first demo, Coolio was already out, and I remember Tommy Boy and them saying, yeah, Rise is funny. This kid's ill, but we can't sell that. That shit's too complicated. You know what I'm saying? This is Tommy Boy, and I'm thinking like, Naughty by Nature, da 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 da. They like, no. And this is my first deal. This is before Priority. I had a deal that eventually went to the Far Side, and I was younger, obviously. So 2-3 years. So my first deal was actually the deal that Far Side took with Delicious Vinyl. And so by the time that I got my opportunity and picked Priority Records, the interesting thing was that I was watching the artists I looked up to kind of create this narrative that I didn't necessarily agree with. It was, I don't want to see no dancing. So I'm like, God damn, Q, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucked up. Some of these niggas gangbang.
Yeah.
Niggas just want to boogie, and niggas still be taking off. You know what I'm saying? So that became a split, and it was like, and it wasn't like I personally kept I was too young and too broke to buy a drink, so I kept a 50 E&J in my backpack and a 25. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? How backpack rapper is that? You understand what I'm saying? Right. Like, niggas started making up these stories about who was hard and who was soft.
Good point, Doc. Good point.
Based on who chose to dress how they wanted to. Because most of my friends who I still know and grew up with, niggas, hip-hop is what brought us together, rap, and it was the rap that came from N.W.A. and Too Short and DJ Quick, when the mixtape, when he was gangbanging, all that, you know what I'm saying? It was street topping, nigga, like heavily on the records, and it was still banging. And the Crip still was like, man, you came front, that shit hard. When niggas was making dope-ass music and East Coast shit, but, we were the first generation that we loved the music so much, it brought us all to start clicking. So niggas started hanging out with niggas out of bounds, and their friends were so. And because they kind of called the gang members would be like, oh, y'all niggas on that rapidy rap, y'all bumperhead niggas and shit, whatever. But we was the niggas that's what got us in each other's hoods, because we wasn't actively gang banging for a while. You know what I'm saying? So the homies from Gardena was over there with the niggas from Compton, and the niggas, we was all the way in West Covina, like meeting niggas and kicking it and clicking up. And meanwhile, this narrative was like, niggas is soft. And like, no, these niggas is, you know what I'm saying? These niggas is from their hood. Niggas from Harvard Gangster Crip, niggas from Grape, niggas from N.W.A, niggas from whatever, bro. It's just the music was inspiring, and it got us out of just that mindset for a while. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas went right back into it because there was no opportunity for them. I found an opportunity within this because I was pulled in the right direction. And so I always found it, you know, Hutch from Code 187, we just were talking, we have a podcast that we just started, and he has such a different insight than me because he's a OGer, and he, you know, more that foundation of this home. But one of the things that he said that I found interesting was LA rappers never called it gangster rap, that it was reality rap. Right. And I was like, I vaguely remember that.
That's right.
And so we took a title that white people named it.
Thank
and
you.
And started acting on that.
Thank you.
And then,
Thank you.
I remember Pac saying, you know what I'm saying, you know, gangster shit. Y'all with the hip hop. Like, no, nigga, it's all hip hop, nigga. How the fuck? Like, when do you turn gangster rapper? You like, I don't understand it because I know a lot of niggas, you know. Bro, I asked Wino in 2000, not Wino, I asked Valcat in 2000. I said, Wino, you know where I grew up at, Wooty around this and the third. And I said, when have you ever seen me be different? He's like, you always wore your little white t-shirts, like some LA shit, like a pro club. But like, you always wore a V-neck over it. Because that's just what I wanted to wear. I wasn't forced to wear. I'm from Carson, ultimately. I never bought khakis because I had enough money to not have to buy khakis. I bought khakis.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. Why would I ever wear a pair of fucking Chucks? It ain't no fucking ankle support. Nigga, I was an Air Max nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a bougie nigga. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. So, like, I remember asking Kat, I said, you know, I said, so what happens if because this sells, if I put on, so I ain't gonna lie, I told Brian Turner to own their Party Records in 1999, 2000. I said, dude, you saw me doing a 8-minute history of racism. I said, I forgot how to Crip walk by the time I was 13 because I didn't step into the set. So there was no point in me Crip walking no more because I wasn't gonna be a Crip. Everybody got an affiliation, but I'm not gonna keep Crip walking if I ain't Cripping. Right. So I said, why would I do it now at 19? Because y'all want me to on some coon shit. And I think a lot of niggas just cooned out. So I said I wanted to have some nuance to that. I say all that to say that. I just think that it became convenient to sell, and a lot of niggas rolled with that. And I fought a hard battle that, to be perfectly honest, and it's not to take away from nobody else, but I felt like I tried to lay that path for the Absols and the Kendricks and even the Games, all these niggas to be lyrical. Just to say, bro, everybody ain't no fucking gang member out here, bro. And I used to tell the niggas in the interviews, like, I'm not unique. I'm not the only nigga. You know, we started rolling with this narrative that everybody wakes up, drinks a 40, Crip walks to the car, 6-4 hop, do a drive-by, and then gets the Jerry Curl juice. You know what I'm saying? And I had to tell niggas, like, bro, I'm not unique. It's a gang of niggas that's not, we grew up, and niggas ain't actively gang banging. It's niggas that strictly get money in the hood. It's niggas that strictly on bitches. It's niggas that's a basketball player. It's a square nigga that's gonna go to college and probably be a police officer. Don't mean he not from his hood. He gonna say relative or cousin. That's the tale. You know what I'm saying? But everybody ain't that stereotype, and because that sold a lot, it forced us with a narrative that unfortunately white people made up, and then my own niggas repeated it, and it was at a disadvantage and a disrespect to all of us to answer that question.
Man, you know what, bro, I'm gonna give you a clap right now, cause I've been saying that shit for last 30 years. And they don't believe me because I'm an old motherfucker, so they don't believe me. But see, when somebody from their own generation say that shit, because that was my get down. Okay, I never had a gang banger. I knew all the gang bangers, but I didn't have to gang bang because I represented something else. As a young DJ coming up in Compton, my turntable was my pass to any hood. Watch Compton, it make no difference. Gardena everywhere. Oh, that's why who's the DJ? Don't trip, man. He all right. I opened the Eve after dark in the blood territory. Niggas from Watts came and Watts and Compton felt comfortable coming over there because they know the nigga that did the party, man, did the homecoming dance. That's his spot now. Oh, okay, he cool. And that was something that folks don't understand it. But I appreciate you, a brother from another generation, and understand who the fuck you are, and not try to be molded just to sell some extra records. I appreciate that, Doc. And that's some real shit.
Yeah.
And I just also realized I got to put you in my downline too, because I discovered Battle Cat when he was 17. If Battle Cat discovered you, that makes you one of my folks.
Facts.
I put you in the downline, baby. I did Battle Cat. I took Battle Cat on tour with Wrecking Crew when he was like 17. His mama I had to go holler at his mom. Hey, Miss, what's his last name? You know, Kevin Miss Gilliam. I'm gonna take him with me for a couple of weeks. Yeah, Miss Gilliam. He gonna be all right. She said, well, long as he sleep in the same room with you, he all right. And that's what he did. But that nigga did some shit. Even right the bed next to me, I can't talk about on the internet.
Ah, man. Oh, Keezy, man, yeah, man. I mean, thank you, because I mean, I always say, we used to. I wouldn't have had these opportunities or had the vision if I didn't have some older homies that looked out for my best interests. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for doing that for Cat, because Cat and Wano certainly did that for me, and I've always tried to do that for brothers. Instead of hogging all the shit up and acting like I'm the only nigga that count. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a bad energy. Like, it takes a village to raise a child, and ultimately we all should have some kind of, not obligation, but we should show each other love, point each other in the right direction. A lot of niggas get it and act like they don't want nobody else on the hill. They be kicking niggas, putting grease on the walls, all that shit.
Yeah, like if you get something, ain't gonna be enough for them.
Facts, dude. Hey, Raz, let me ask you a question, brother. Man, okay, 1996. What an interesting time in hip hop that was. And your album was released, Soul on Ice, classic, was released just a few weeks after the passing of Tupac Shakur. Now, can you talk to us about going into that album, Soul on Ice, and just being a part of hip hop during that weird time where Tupac passed right before your album, and then 6 months later we lose Biggie Smalls? Can you just talk to us about hip hop at that time from your standpoint?
Yeah, man. That was a very interesting time. I have an analogy that I'm gonna tell y'all, but before I do that, one of the first people MCs that ever embraced me and show me love, I didn't even have my deal yet, was Money B from Digital Underground. So I've always been a part of that whole family since I got on. You know what I'm saying? Like since I got an actual record deal. So I always fucked with them. Aside from that, Rated and all them was with Pop, Rated R and all of them. So, I kind of had a second row seat to Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, again, I had my thoughts where I was just like, I was a Pac fan. I told my girlfriend, who would later become the mother of my children, I bought the first Pac album, was like, he's talking Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I had a better understanding of what Pac was trying to say. And then sometimes you can't feed grown babies like a whole steak dinner, so you got to chop and chew it like a mama chew it like a bird. And I felt like that's what he was trying to do with people, and the lowest common denominator was the thug thing. And so I always felt like he had this message that he was trying to get out that he never quite finished, right? For one reason or another. Or multiple reasons, to be perfectly honest, from my point of view. But I had to, so during that whole time, Pac was killed. And then I got my first show in New York. I did my first show in Manhattan, and it was a Lyricist Lounge show. And we already had label mates and homeboys that was like it was me and my cousin Blue, who would go on to be Blue Da Vinci from BMF. So me and my cousin Blue was my second mic, and we would run around. And then we had this show, and Boot Camp Clique was our homies, which ironically Pop fucked with Boot Camp Clique too, just separately. So Sean Price, that was my brother. You know what I'm saying?
R.I.P.
All of them still my homies. Yeah. And but I had to go do the show, and I just remember Guru brought me out, because somebody sent me the audio too, so I use it during my shows now. My first show in New York, I'm young, I'm kind of intimidated, like this the Mecca of hip hop, and Guru brings me out, he's showing me love and holding me down, and then the nigga says, "Where Tupac at?" And I'm just like, and Biggie ain't dead yet. So I remember, you know, I was a little heated, and not a little heated, I just said, that man is dead, and you really should make jokes about the dead. And I said, you a bitch ass nigga. So if you want to catch that fade, you can come up here and catch that fade.
This is Guru from Gangstar?
No, not Guru. Some nigga in the crowd, a heckler.
Oh, okay. Just
So
clearing that
I
up.
said, oh no, never in life. No, not Guru. He brought me on show love. But then I got the mic and I'm about to rhyme, and one nigga in this crowd of 500 people close enough to say it loud says, "Where Tupac at?" Like, it's funny. And I remember, you know, it was just one of them times where like character counted, and I just felt like I'm not gonna let that slide like I didn't hear it. I think that shit's whack. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't joke on the dead, my nigga. I think you a bitch ass nigga for saying that. Fuck what you said, bro. You know what I'm saying? Da da da. And then I continued, did my show. It was dope. And to New York's credit, a lot of people like, word, salute. You know what I'm saying? Like, showed love because, you know, it was that environment at that time. It had gotten that toxic. You know what I'm saying? Where niggas was coast banging damn near. And only a few people could kind of walk both places. I happened to be one of them where I could, you know, I was accepted by New York people because I'm lyrical. A lot of times I've always felt like I'm more accepted on the East Coast than I am, and I'm born and raised here. I'm an LA native. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of times I got, because of that bullshit, oh, hip hop, and then you gangster, and then I got pushed to the side, and niggas didn't give me the support I deserved on the radio. So, but that was my interesting thing about like coming out in that year it's one of the greatest years in hip hop. A lot of incredible albums. So, you know, to even get any credit in that year is amazing. I wish a lot of niggas wouldn't have came out because then all the shine would have been on me. But that's just me joking. Honestly, that's just me joking. I'm happy. Like, I'm class of 96 and nastiness. Like, people talk about golden eras, but that might be arguably, I think like 94 and 96 might be the year
I agree.
like some of the illest albums came out.
The best.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
So I'm grateful to be, you know what I'm saying? I was a freshman in 96. And I held my own in 96.
Yeah.
I did the best I could.
Now, you said that Lou Da Vinci from BMF is your cousin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's he from?
So that was my hype man.
Where's he from?
Blue
Carson, right?
He's from LA.
I didn't know that.
Blue from Carson.
That I damn sure didn't know.
Facts.
Blue from Carson. Blue is we met Meech and them through DJ Pooh. We know Meech and them through Pooh.
Okay.
Pooh love Blue because Blue is funny as fuck. Blue can shoot jokes. I only know one nigga that shut Blue up ever in life bagging, and that's our nigga Gabi, this Puerto Rican nigga from New York. Niggas could that nigga just got a mouth, the nigga could talk forever. But like, you know, I always say, and he probably gonna be mad. I'm sure he might pop on this motherfucker. You mentioned his name, he like the candy man. He always pop up. Like, who talking about me? But but yeah, no, like Blue, I always say, like, when I'm writing Soul on Ice, Blue was cutting like $20 rocks. He always was a petty drug dealer. But he didn't have no motherfucking boatloads of cocaine.
Never got past 8 ball, huh?
Yeah, but he will, you know, but he won't say that's the case either. He's gonna say, yeah, nigga, I was a petty drug dealer. He was a gang member. He from one I know. You know what I'm saying? From 190th Street. So Delamo from Carson. So petty drug dealer. And then he was, you know, him and my other cousin is S-Class. He a producer that was in BMF too. He a blood nigga from Inglewood, from families. So they were my 2 younger cousins. I couldn't get all the beats from my cousin S. So the logic kind of was bring Blue with me, so Blue could get all the relationships and then open those doors for him and S and everybody else. And then we met Meech, and it was kind of a match made in Gangsta's Paradise. I mean, you know, what? Because the whole goal was obviously to wash the money. I won't say too much more about that. Obviously, that didn't work out well.
We'll all be under investigation fucking with that one. Man, that's really interesting, Doc. I didn't know that. Man.
Hey, this is a great question from the audience. Raz wants to know, did you ever go to Project Blow?
Of course I did. You know, those brothers, Micah 9 and Pieces from Carson 2, all of them brothers were already paving the way. I was in juvenile hall. So I was gone. Like I said, I had a deal situation, and then I fucked around and found out. And then while I was gone, and it was already happening, Project Blow and all that, and Freestyle Fellowship, but they were already, like, by the time I got out, they already had like a record deal and a record out and all this other stuff. So, you know, things didn't stop because I was gone for like a year and a half. But in that time period, when I got back out, I had to start from scratch. And so I was second mic to a dude named Voodoo, who somebody that was in my clique when we were in high school. And so he was making a name for himself, and I would just second mic him, basically, while I was working on my demo and starting over. Because my first demo, that music was old. Like I said, Tommy Boy was like shit too lyrical, whatever the fuck they were saying. And I had to start from scratch and kind of find out who I was. And so I would still, my second demo would become most of the songs on Solo Nights. Because my mom gave me that book while I was in juvenile hall. But yeah, so yeah, I would go to N.W.A. I did 90 Day Op, and then I took a deal as an adult just to get shorter time and went to the county and all that. But yeah, my experience with like The Good Life and Project Blow was that was a hard crowd for one. Let me say that. Like, cause if you went in there and they didn't like you, again, some of them niggas was from the jungles, some of them niggas from Wooty Wham, so they would beat you up. I watched some niggas get beat up at Project Blow. You know what I'm saying? I mean, good thing. I mean, I'm grateful. I was received with love when I rhymed and whatever, but that was one of the hardest. They was like the Project Blow and Good Life was like the what do they call that shit?
Apollo.
What's the shit in New York where a nigga come out with the cane?
Yeah.
Apollo, yeah, that shit was like the West Coast Apollo, bro.
Wow.
Tell us about classic time.
About Coast Contra, your twins.
Oh, Philadelphia. That's Phil. Oh man, they go hard. Philadelphia.
Yeah. Those are my well, two of the members is 4 members. It's Rio Los from Philly. Rio Los is from Colombia, but grew up in Miami.
Is that the cat that speaks Spanish in his rhymes?
Yeah, that's Rio Los.
Rio Los. Yeah. Okay, I've been looking for that dude's hard. Okay, go on, keep going.
So Rio Los and then my boys are born and raised here. They second gens, but then you know when me and their mom broke up, and then eventually she got her own. Well, I designed her record deal. She's a singer. Her name is Tidra Moses. She went off on her own career. She eventually decided to move to Florida. So the boys went to Florida around, I don't know, I'd say 12. Okay. And that was kind of their dog year. So they met Rio Los in high school. That was their homie from high school. And then they came out here after they graduated. They were 17. And shortly thereafter, they met Eric. But yeah, man, I'm excited for them. I just saw the boys earlier today. We went to lunch. Brunch? Yeah, it was noon. We went to brunch earlier.
You gonna pull a LeBron and put them on too?
No, they put their cell phone.
Oh, they're doing their thing, dog. They're blowing up right now. They're blowing up.
Yeah, y'all. They do their numbers, man. They do their numbers, and you know, I don't have a lot of interest in with young men. You know, I didn't listen to shit my pop said. If my pop said make a left, I totally made a right. I just really that kind of person.
Okay.
You know, I think it's just in our structure, just these Austin men. Like, so it's enough of them niggas. I always tell them they tend to call me when it goes wrong.
That's what everybody call you.
And that's kind of a dad's job. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your stuff. If you need some help, some advice, at least I know this industry. I've been in it. But so has their mother. My little sister went to top 5 law school in this country. for entertainment law. So they have a lot of resources that I never had. And so now they can move around and you know, a lot of people told them they needed to do a whole bunch of trap shit and dress a certain way and be a certain way. And I'm just really, you know, I don't believe in pride because white people have, you know, white pride and brown pride, and you know, pedophiles have pride. So I don't believe in pride. I believe in respect. And so I'm very grateful to the culture that they gave my sons a fair shot. And I'm grateful that my sons and they clique had enough respect for the culture to do their homework and come into this shit, not playing with it. And when niggas told them they had to bang some corny ass TikTok video shit, they went for the bars and got their numbers without compromising who they are, because they care about the skill set and it's art form. So I'm grateful to the culture for that.
Yeah, everybody needs to check out Coast Contra. They are really, really dope. Hey, I have a question for you, Cass. You know, I watched an event just a couple of weeks ago that is giving me goosebumps as I'm talking about it right now, just being a lover of hip hop and loving this culture. But one of the greatest things I saw just a couple of weeks ago was Kendrick Lamar's pop out concert. You know, you being an MC that made it comfortable for the Absols, for the Kendricks, for the you know, the all of these guys to be lyrical, but from the West Coast. What is your thoughts on Kendrick's, you know, his come up and his most recent come up with Not Like Us and this pop out concert? What are your whole thoughts on that situation?
I thought that was brilliant. I mean, you know, I just think he uses his head for more than a hat rack. And I've always said this about any competent MC. Well, I'll use an analogy to say it, and then I'll answer your question. Years ago, maybe 2001 or 2, I was all in the studio. We were at we call it Gay Larrabee. The Larrabee that's in West Hollywood.
I tell Santa Monica Boulevard. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so we used to call it Gay Larrabee. Yeah. And we were working. They were working on the X song, exhibit shit. So Dog is in there, Snoop, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Snoop is X-a-lotta, you know, he's doing the back. By the time I get there, he's doing that part. Now I remember Dre came up and he's like, "So what's up? How your album going?" I was like, I think my shit is dope. He was like, you don't sound confident. I was like, my nigga, I don't have a million, you know, like, nigga, I watched you mix a record in a studio that costs $7,000 a day for a week. I don't have that. I don't have access to every musician ever in the world, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it was like, don't take my lack of jumping up and down as lack of you know, believing in what I did and what I'm doing. But you know, I understand that I have limited resources, and so I know I gave 110% is all I'm saying. I feel confident. Although, of course, I wish I had your kind of budget and I could do this and get Sting to sing on this fucking, you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck. And so, with that being said, I look at the Kendricks and, you know, even the Pops or not anybody like a lyrical nigga. My whole shit after a certain point is you don't have any excuse for not making fire records. You got all the resources. So I'm very happy to see a Kendrick really prove me right. Like, he is very strategic. He went to war. You know, I say this now. He did a masterful display because it was kind of like 2 against 1. It was J. Cole again. Then he made one nigga apologize real fast, and then he watched the other nigga. And I was like, yo, that's kind of. So he kind of did. I got this LA hat that I was already making anyway. I think you saw. I think I was wearing it when I went up there. When you saw me.
Talking about his PG Lang hat.
It's like Highlander HGH LA, the LA and the. So there can only be one. He Highlandered them niggas. So I was just like, yo, man, like, nasty work, man. Hats off to him. You know, there were some moments where, for instance, when CANIBUS dissed LL Cool J, I told him play by play kind of what would happen. There's an art to battle rapping, right? And anticipating what the next person's gonna say. So when you put this shit out, you gotta know he gonna say that. So you gotta kind of already have that written. Most people already have these things prepared because you know you going to war. You don't start trying to make bullets, nigga, when you get in a gunfight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who does that? Like, nigga, you're gonna die. So you're supposed to already have your clip and a reload clip. So Kendrick, I mean, I just saw a masterful strategic dissection, ready to answer whatever. Drake put out the one video. This nigga dropped to meet the
Graham.
Graham. Oh, it was masterful. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then I thought to bring it back home and solidify it visually was brilliant. You know, I don't know him well. I did a song with him before he popped. This shit with because anybody that's dope, I'm just a big supporter of that. I like skill set. I love bars. So I've always been supportive, man, and I think he Highlander niggas, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't really have no, you know, there's a lot of nasty MCs, but you know, we play an industry game of groupiness about who sold the most records. That's who counts. You're like, oh, it ain't relevant. So in the relevance world, that nigga wiped his comp out, which is I gotta give it to him. And I mean, one nigga just gave it to him. Like if I was J. Cole, there was so many other ways I would have went about that. But don't come out popping shit and apologize. That's the weirdest thing ever. So
I haven't listened to J. Cole since, and I love J. Cole. I haven't listened to J. Cole since, and I love J. Cole.
I mean, there's a way to battle, you know what I'm saying? Because he was doing gun talk, and I'm like, that ain't really you, J. Cole. Like, figure out who you are to address if a nigga said, you know, it's big me, fuck a big three, whatever. There's another way you could have went about that without trying to do gun play, battle raps, and then obviously having to go back and apologize because now he has no right to claim. Think about it. 50 Cent, you know, I'm the king, or you know, everybody always KRS-One. Niggas been fighting for the throne. This is a one-man sport. This is not about saying we all good, kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? This is like boxing. No, you know, it ain't gotta get violent, but niggas is like, I'm the best. So you can't just bow out. I always say, if you go in the boxing match and say you won second place, you're a fucking clown. So Colden already just made himself the second place guy. That's crazy. And then he watched Drake. He kind of made him go home, pack his shit up and go home. So hats off to him. I said all that to say hats off. I think it was a clinic in strategic battle rapping and getting your point across and airing a nigga out on facts. It was ugly. It was great.
It was. Hey, Raz, has anyone ever tried to come at you? I know you have the game situation. You've talked to that at length on other interviews, so you don't have to go into that. But were there any other MCs that had the gall, the nerve to come at RAS KASS?
It was only him, and again, Game's narrative is always he's good at back because he'll strike and do some shit and jump you, and then he throws out a narrative, so he has you just trying to defend the 17 lies he put out there. So that he's always had a good tactic at that. It ain't really the raps. It's the I caught you slipping. I'm gonna do some shit, and then he gonna run. His friends gonna try to pack you out. I'm gonna put it out there. It's just what it is. That's his tactic. It ain't really the bars. It's the show of it. That's the show. So and to be perfectly honest, that's the only person I ever really got into it with. But then nigga didn't want to rap no more. Because I wrote one. And I was like, I got another one for you. Please say some stuff, and I have some other things I would say. You know what I'm saying? But you know, most people don't. You know, I think arguably most people don't. People don't want to battle people unless. Think about it. You want to fight the nigga at the top. Everybody wants to be at the top. So I think ultimately. Most people don't pick fights with people that may be a problem that won't boost their win. So I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not selling the most records, so everybody's not after my fan base and my attention. So I understand why people wouldn't do it. Like Kendrick's at the top of the mountaintop. And has been, and it was kind of shared. He's knocked everybody off that mountaintop. So now Kendrick, everybody would be after his spot. This nigga gets to be, you know, the unified the belts. You know what I'm saying? He's the top. Most people don't want to fight with Bruce Lee when Bruce, you know, if you can't get no shine off of it. So I don't anticipate me ever really having beef battles with niggas unless I pop something, you know. Yeah, unless some records move. Unless if these numbers go up, then niggas will have something to say. Because that's how niggas play the game. Niggas don't think about it. Every time a nigga win, what is their narrative? So say somebody starts selling records, and they be like, "Well, who the best?" Well, Jay-Z, Nas, and me, Eminem. Everybody puts themselves in these, Big Tupac and me. Everybody has their same narrative of wanting to be in the great guy list because that's the whole goal. You want to be the king of the mountain in your time. And I think that's all fair in sport. We're playing, we're our own franchises, and we supposed to. And I don't think you got to be a hater for feeling like again. Everybody should feel like if you really care about your skill set and you really nice on the mic, then you should feel like you a threat. Because I can name 50 MCs that I'm afraid of. Do I think they could ultimately beat me? No. But I'm afraid of them. They're incredible MCs, from Rakim to Styles P to the Locks to Kurupt to so-and-so to so-and-so to fucking, it's, the Kendricks, the Absols, my sons are problems. There's a lot of nice niggas out there. So that's supposed to sharpen your skill. That you're not a hater for acknowledging that niggas is dope. But you are dumb if you just think everybody can beat you, because that's a bad attitude to have as a gladiator.
Okay.
Yeah, that's facts, dude.
I respect it. It's been a good interview, man. On the real, Doc.
Yeah.
It's been a real good interview. One of my top two, Doc. I'm glad you yesterday, brother. On the real, man.
Real talk, bro.
I don't just say things just to be saying stuff. It's been a great interview, man. I love talking to you, Doc. We got to connect more often, man. On the real.
Yeah,
anytime,
thank you,
man.
Raz.
Thank you, Lonzo. Thank you, Dusty. I appreciate y'all for taking the time.
Thank you. Hey, can you pump up your podcast with Big Hutch before you leave? You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a bad person because I don't know the name of the podcast yet, but check it out. And check out the podcast. It's me, the homegirl Alicia, and Big Hutch from Code 187 from Above the Law. And also, I got a new album out right now. What up, Diz? My homeboy Diz is on This Most. I got a little bit of knowledge, Fulio. This nigga probably in Cuba. Where you at? Cuba? DR.
He's in DR. He's in DR.
Yeah, Diz and DR, my brother Diz, man. And I got a record out that just dropped called Gutter, Guttr, featuring it's Havoc from Mobb Deep. He did all the production. And I handled the MCing. The first single is called Roll Call, featuring Method Man and Fame from M.O.P. and Sway Calloway, Sway's Universe. He popping shit. So support the music, man. I always just encourage people, like, if you fuck with the older stuff, try not to live in the past. A lot of people are making music presently, and please support it.
Much love to you, Doc. Man, stop
Thank
by
you, brother.
Anytime you got something to talk about, man. You got my connect. You got a seat on the show anytime. And tell Hutch I need to holler at him. I've been promising to come on the show for the last long, and he ain't made it yet. I ain't mad. I just need to see him. All right.
I'm gonna let him know. 100%.
Much love to you, folks. All right, man. It's RAS KASS, folks. You live with Lonzo and Dusty Vision, all the way from Europe. Much love, Raz.
Peace.
Yeah, man.
Dusty,
man.
Another one, baby. That's another one.
I couldn't. That was beautiful, man. I couldn't miss this one. I'm gonna go upstairs and take my ass to sleep because I'm tired.
Come on, Doc. I ain't mad at you, Doc. We're gonna wrap this one up a little bit on the quick side. That's all right. That's how we do it. Man, I feel good about that one, man. Like I said,
that was great.
I missed the show earlier. I met the brother just yesterday. Yesterday we was doing a Coolio video, a documentary, and he came in. I was just wrapping up my interview. I knew who he was. He knew who I was. We never connected before. And before I left, the brother offered me his digits. Man, take my digits, man. And when he said that, brothers don't do that in this game, man. I done met a lot of brothers. Oh, man, I get it to you. Oh, yeah, I'm getting my Instagram. The brother said, man, take my digits, Doc. I said, you ought to do my podcast, man. When is it? I said, tomorrow. You available? He said, yeah, actually, I'm good. I'm leaving town short, but I can do it tomorrow. That's just like that, Doc. And every time I text him, he responded. Every time. Man, ain't been no bullshit. He was on time for the show. I'm old school, but that means a lot to me, Doc. In the meantime, folks, it's about that time to wrap up the show. Dusty, go to bed, baby. We'll holler at you next week. All right, folks, like I say every week, For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer till he got cold. I own the Eve After Dark 50-yard line on the Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without a Lonzo, folks. We out of here, y'all. Peace. Wrong one.